Hello again, everyone. It's me again. You know, empathy is such a weird thing, isn't it? I just have the weirdest, weird being the only way I can describe it. It's odd, it's comes at the strangest times and times you wouldn't expect, at least for me, I should say. I'm speaking on my own behalf here. Empathy is a strange friend and strange foe. What I mean by that is empathy, a lot of people, for example, pride themselves on being what they might call an empath, someone who can strongly feel others' emotions. And others are so jaded and resistant to everything in society that you may as well just call them a sociopath. They've totally separated from their own emotions and they just manipulate people and don't care. There are people out there who harm others and feel no guilt. Then there are others who feel guilt even when they haven't done anything wrong. The type of empathy I'm talking about is the kind where you see a situation, maybe somebody who tried really hard or put in their all and failed, or maybe it's a kid that hurt himself. It could be anything, but usually you would think that a person who's empathetic for others, or I don't know, it's hard to explain. Some people would think that I'm like a hard ass, not sympathetic because of the way that I talk sometimes regarding, other people. The type of people where I'm just like, fuck them. I won't put up with the bullshit from people like that, or these kinds of people, they're not worth the time, or not spending your time trying to defend yourself to strangers, that kind of thing. But even more than that, not feeling sorry for people who, let's say, for example, somebody loses their life savings, but they're still doing okay. Like, I would have a hard time having empathy for somebody who lost all their money in the stock market. I'm the kind of guy who's like, man, took a gamble, tough shit. As long as you're not on the streets, right, and starving. But you can always start over. If you're an able-bodied human being, then it's hard to feel sorry for people. But I still feel sorry for people in the weirdest ways. A person who, let's say, goes to a public school and tries to start a healthy choice lunch kind of thing, right? So this actually happened at my kids' school, and they told me the story, and it like hurt my heart thinking about this person who did this. They're like, yeah, they brought in a guy. It wasn't a chef. Like some of the schools have brought in these professional chefs, and it's not like that. But I remember they were trying an option for a healthy meal, and they're like, yeah, there was this one person who was, giving out the salads. And my son, he's like, 7 at the time. He's like, but nobody took the salads. Nobody wanted that. And the weirdest thing is that I felt sorry for the person who was handing out the salads or the good food. And I thought about that. I was like, why? Like, it's not like they grew and it's probably not even their food. Like, I'm creating a story in my head, feeling sorry for a person because kids aren't coming up and getting healthier food from them. That's really the only example I can think of off the top of my head. But empathy is just strange, and sympathy. I hate even trying to distinguish between the two. One is because you've been there. The other is because you just feel sorry for them in general, but you haven't been in the situation. The thing is, so many of the situations that we feel sorry for others are because they're situations that we've had similar situations. Maybe not the same, but we all kind of live the same story. And the hero's journey. And maybe we just empathize with others when it's something we can relate to because it's something that we've been through. But I don't know. Have you ever just felt sorry for people for the weirdest things? Or, for example, maybe a couple of kids who have a Kool-Aid stand and don't get very many sales. Something like that. It's like, well, it's just a learning experience. The kids don't care. Even if they got a few sales, that's good for them. But I'm like, overthinking other people's emotions, forgetting that people are very tough, very resilient, and if we're not, then we need to be, because it's a thankless world. Yeah. So anyhow, that's my ramble for the moment, and I'll talk to y'all next time. Hope you're all doing well out there. Peace.